Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group D. In here we are gonna present the material about equity owners. So in here is our group members. So for the first material I will explain it is about anthropological or inductive paradigm. So in accounting theory, the anthropological paradigm refers to the way of viewing accounting practices as social and cultural processes that occur in an organization. This paradigm emphasizes that accounting is not only a technical system, but also has a social aspect that are influenced by values, norms, and interaction between actors in environments. Thus, the approach used is inductive, namely that which comes from observation of existing accounting practices in the field which are then interpreted and analyzed. When applying this anthropological or inductive paradigm, the main subject of the research is not a normative theory, but rather empirical reality in the form of accounting practices carried out and management attitudes towards these practices. Experts who express this approach that accounting techniques can be understood through their use in a real context, or management has an important role in determining the techniques that will be implemented according to the specific needs and condition of the organization. Usually, the main objective of accounting research using the anthropological or inductive paradigm is to understand, explain, and predict actual accounting practices as they occur in the social environment of the organization. Four main theories that are often associated with this paradigm include: the first one, there is information economic theory, which focuses on information asymmetry between management and stakeholders. Then the second, there is analytical models or agency theory, which explain the contractual relationship between principal and agent. Then the third, there is the income smoothing or earnings management hypothesis, which examines how management influences financial reporting for specific purposes. Then the fourth, there is a positive accounting theory, which attempts to explain and predict accounting practices based on economics and political incentives. Researchers who apply this paradigm tend to use quantitative techniques that have been proven in a previous research, such as those used in studies of income smoothing, earnings management, and positive theories testing, to gain a deeper understanding of how accounting practices develop in organizational realities.
Okay, the next material is about the actual or deductive profit paradigm. The actual or deductive profit paradigm is departs from logical and normative thinking in the preparation of accounting theory, with an emphasis on clarity of concept and firmness in definition. This paradigm view that accounting theory must be developed based on a strong conceptual foundation, not just existing practice. The main focus is to find the ideal concept or profit beyond the historical cost method. According to Menil, ideal profit is defined as an increase in net worth. Meanwhile, Alexander Higlet, the question of whether economic profit is an ideal concept, although it may not be able to be measured with certainty in practice, compared to accounting profit, which is considered to be less relative of economic reality. In this paradigm, few alternative theories emerge to replace the historical cost accounting system. The first one is adjusted price level accounting or current purchasing power. The second one is replacement cost accounting. The third is restriction value accounting. The fourth is contemporaneous accounting or net realizable value on a continuous basis. And the last one is present value accounting. These five theories present method of valuing assets and determining earnings that are considered more capable of addressing the weakness in the historical cost approach. And the next material will be delivered by my friend.
Okay, in here I will explain about decision usefulness or decision model. Chambers states that there must be a system as the basis for decision making that is logically consistent without conflicting rules or process, and that the information generated is relevant to the different types of decision making expected to be used. Beaufort Kennelly unfolds examine the origin of predictive ability criterion, its relationship to decision-making facilitation, and the potential difficulty associated with its implementation. Alternative methods of accounting measurement are evaluated in terms of their ability to predict economic events. The predictive ability criterion is assumed to be relevant if applied in conjunction with a low decision model specification. And Sterling also developed criteria in evaluating various measures of wealth and income. Given conflict viewpoint on the purpose of accounting reports, Sterling chose usefulness as the primary criterion of measurement methods, emphasizing the importance of key requirements such as objectivity and verifiability. When applying this model, the basic subject matters in the usefulness of accounting information for decision model. The relevant information for a decision model will be determined and implemented by choosing the best accounting alternative. There are two types of theory in the usefulness or decision model. The first deals with various types of decision models related to business decision making, such as EOQ, board, linear programming, capital budgeting, purchasing versus leasing, etc. The second deals with various economic events that are related to business decision-making, can affect business continuity, such as bankruptcies, takeover, merger, fundraising, etc.
Okay, and the next material is about decision or decision maker usefulness. Decision utility can be divided into two main approaches, namely aggregate market behavior and individual behavior. In the aggregate market behavioral approach, the main focus is on how the market as a whole responds to accounting information or variable. This approach is based on market efficiency theory, which states that the market price of security reflects available information quickly and accurately. Therefore, accounting is considered useful if it can affect market price or generate a significant market response. Research in this paradigm makes extensive use of models such as capital asset pricing model, arbitrage pricing theory, as well as event study methodologies that assess the impact of accounting information on stock price. Important figures in the approach are Gondas and Topuch, who state that the selection of accounting information system depends on aggregate market behavior. The next slide is about decision usefulness or decision maker or individual behavior. Individual or decision-making behavior approach, the focus lies on how individual users such as manager, accountant, or other internal parties respond to accounting information in the decision-making process. This paradigm views accounting as a behavior process that is influenced by psychological, social, and cognitive factors. The main objective of research in this approach is to understand, explain, and predict human behavior in the context of accounting. William Burns is one of the pioneers of this approach, with hypotheses that link the use and relevance of accounting information to individual decision-making process. Research in the paradigm often borrow theory from other disciplines such as psychological and sociology, and use methods such as observation, interview, experiment, and questionnaires. This approach emphasizes that the usefulness of accounting information lies not only in the market reaction, but also in how effectively the information influences the decision of individual users. So that's all from me. The next material will be explained to my friend.
Okay, I will explain about information or economic paradigm. So the information or economic paradigm in accounting theory is an approach that views accounting as an information system designed to assist rational economic decision making. This paradigm is based on decision theory, microeconomic theory, and statistics, and emphasize that accounting information is an economic commodity that has value and cost. In this framework, information is used to maximize the utility of users, such as investors, managers, or other external parties. One of the important figures in the development of this paradigm is Verdam, who formulated 5 main components in information-based decision-making, namely the set of possible actions, the payoff function of those actions, probabilistic relationship between past and future events, signal from information system, and decision-making rules based on those signals. Furthermore, Crandall expands this concept through the applied information economics approach by combining elements such as filters, models, channels, decoding, and decision rules as the basis for the design of an ideal accounting information system. This paradigm emphasizes that accounting information should be evaluated through a cost-benefit approach. Example, the benefit of information should outweigh the cost incurred to produce it. In this context, accrual-based accounting is considered the most efficient method because it provides more relevant and complete information than cash flow-based system. In addition, this paradigm adopts the principle of expected utility hypothesis, which states that individuals will choose actions with the highest expected value of benefits, and information is used to revise the probability of possible outcomes. This process supports the selection of the best course of action based on the latest information with a Bayesian approach. The information or economic paradigm produces normative theories that help systematically evaluate information systems against accounting policy alternatives and contributes greatly to the development of financial reporting standards and market-based accounting research. The basic assumption is that decision makers are rational and will utilize information to maximize their economic outcomes. Thus, this paradigm places accounting information as a strategic element in the efficiency of economic decision making. That's all from our group. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next session, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.